I will show you how to test a Codeforces round in Polygon. And it isn't just about writing solutions to problems. You need to try to catch as many mistakes as you can. This is an unofficial Division 4 round 2 by Sense and Slavic. There are 6 problems and I will just start with the first one. You can find the contest and then open it to see list of problems in the contest by seeing View Contests tab. Okay, I open the first problem, go to Statement tab. This is hard to read, so click in HTML to see it as if it was in Codeforces website. And let's try to also find mistakes in the statement. This should be reworded a little bit. All other players, because otherwise it's like a more complicated construction, are for sure. Maybe this should be are not imposters for sure. I there hit saved and then I refreshed the website there. If all players aren't the imposter, then the imposter. I don't like the fact that uppercase is not consistent, but I will not be that strict here. It isn't a real Codeforces round, it's just something unofficial. Yeah, that's an obvious mistake. Number of players and the number of players in the game. I think they mean number of players and the number of and size of the list, maybe, or number of entries in the list. Number of players in the list will be confusing. The second line, bracket should go just after the definition of that. Why wait with that? I would add some samples. In the first case, their players are 1, 2, 3, which leaves only player 3 not on the list. This means player 3 is the imposter and will get eliminated. Here, 2 and 4 are potential imposters. I think there should be more samples because it's just yes and no question. I will, in Issues tab, right here, you can suggest stuff. This is not a bug, it's enhancement proposition. Put more samples because the first problem and it's easy to... Yep. But other people will see this and they can resolve the issue, of course. This is better for communication with the author. Okay. Other than this, the statement is more or less fine. For Codeforces round, I would be more strict about this. What do we do then? I can implement a solution or go to files. Let's implement a solution. If I expected a lot of work with every problem, then maybe I would create separate directory on my computer. In solution files, you can add a solution, choose it from your computer, and actually I didn't test for quite some time. If I just put ACPP, it will be quite confusing that there will be a lot of ACPPs. It's better to denote your program in some way. So instead I will copy this into KD like my name and surname, Kamil Dybowski. I think it's a very good convention. I saw it being used a lot of times. And then a verdict. It isn't a must to do exactly this, but you can. So now this is kd accepted.cpp. This file. This one should be correct. So I'm leaving the verdict here as correct. If later we run tests and this program doesn't get accepted verdict, there will be an error. Polygon will warn you about this. But also I want this to fail. This will be kd wrong answer.cpp, where I say if s size is smaller equal 1, then print yes. Just try to come up with a few programs that should give wrong answer verdict to check if tests are strong enough. Is there anything else? We can change this from 1 to n into 0 to n minus 1. Maybe that's a possible mistake as well. So from 0 to smaller than n. And maybe also some mistake related to a set. But I think sample test already checks that. So what about, let's try to come up with something that will actually pass sample test. 1 to 2 and 3 and 1. We print yes. Okay, what about this? If k is at least n minus 1, print yes. This should obviously fail because it doesn't check for repetitions. Also, it prints wrong answer if all the numbers are forbidden, because then we should print no. Like, for sure, there should be a test with 1, 2, 3, because then this sentence, if all players are in the imposter, it is some special case. It isn't that natural, so it needs to be defined in the statement, and for sure you want to put it in samples. It's so stupid to fail on something like that. Let's go to solution files, add solutions. I can, with control, add multiple of them, add files. Each of them I need to mark in a moment as wrong answer. And thanks to that, Polygon will warn you if something is wrong. Change this to incorrect. Oh, there's wrong answer is better because it's precisely, you're telling it shouldn't get time limit exceeded, shouldn't get memory limit exceeded, it should get exactly this. Then go to invocations. I want to run solutions. I want to run all solutions against all tests. Let's view this this invocation. Refresh some more. After a few seconds it should start running, I believe. Yep. Later it will be faster because a lot of verdicts will be cached. But on my computer, apparently system didn't run this minutes in past few minutes. Okay, I think that I'm incorrectly getting accepted here, actually with two solutions, so tests are very weak. My third solution, this one, just comparing k to n minus 1, got wrong answers on 3 tests. Oh, not here, this maybe a bit more, yeah, on 4 tests. Also I see warning, variable k didn't hit maximal value. So issues, let's say this. Improve tests because there is none with max possible k. Polygon at the bottom warns you whether, if you put in statement that n is between 1 and 100, Polygon will make sure that there is a test with value 1, there is a test with value 100. That actually depends on validator. We'll see that in a moment. But also those 2 solutions are completely wrong, like because this is small or equal. Tests are very weak. Stupid solutions. And this is also why I named those programs instead of just saying ACPP. Like, what do I do then? A2 CPP, A3 CPP, and everybody will use numbers? Because there can be a lot of testers, a lot of authors putting their solutions here. 2 stupid solutions, pass all tests. In particular, I believe there is no test where all values 1 through n are present. The list. This is a bug because that's very serious issue. Okay, I wrote a few solution files. Now let's look up tests. In tests, you can see how they are generated. I see there are 100 of them, but I'm going to hit preview tests to see outputs. And I was worried that maybe like all of the answers are yes or all of the answers are no. Here usually there are no, but it isn't that bad. If all of them were yes, then I would complain, hey, you don't generate tests in a good way. What else? Later I will read generator. Actually, I can do it now. I see that, okay, first of all, you can add a test by hitting add test and writing it down. And if I wasn't lazy that as a tester also I can add tests. I could try to fail my own solutions, but I know that already author did a very bad job with those tests, so I will let them improve it a lot. I'm sure that he needs to rework it completely. So it isn't enough that I will add 2 tests. So you can add tests by hand like that, and also you can generate them with a generator program, but then you don't want to do this. You want to use, there's here brief manual and examples of this script. There can be for loops, and they are explained here. So I would say that this should be replaced with what? List 1 to 99 as a seed or whatever this number is, and then igen this. I wanted to do 99. This to the next file. Like that. Yep. So all of this can be replaced. I'm going to indeed replace it. If something's wrong, then I will just roll back the changes. What did I do wrong? Oh, double dot. Maybe it will reorder tests a little bit. I don't care. And now, normally I would just put that in a chat with author, just to tell them how to do it. You can use for loops creating tests. See what I did in script there. This issue after reading. Just put every issue like that, because if you do that in like Messenger, chat, or Hangouts, email, they can miss it. Right now, they should fix something and then close the issue after fixing. In files, I will read the generator. If n is always greater or equal than k, then that's very bad. I can this will give runtime error, I believe. What about creating a Boolean array for that, whether something was visited or not? Visited of size, and instead of n+1 I will put here k+1. That's not like that. Okay, this will be very artificial assert, but it's very wrong if this is true in all tests. Well, it isn't guaranteed in the statement. I cannot now think about any solution where indeed they will use the fact that this is true, but they can, for example, create an array of one size, and if it's greater than the other thing, it will always work. So something like that. I can't think of any counterexample. In solution files, let's add one more solution. This should give runtime error. I will not even create an issue for that, because author will see from Polygon errors that this also doesn't, tests are not good because something is marked as incorrect while it passes all the tests. But I will make sure, go to Invocation, run this on all tests. Maybe I should put more comments here, like explain right here what's going on, why this is wrong. The code is so simple that if it's enough to just take a look to see what's the difference, I guess. Okay, that's another issue. Let's finish reading the generator. So test is always just printing just printing values from 1 to n-1. I can grab this. You can download testlib.h to your directory to run it yourself. But if I understand correctly, all tests will be very, very simple. So either k is small, or it's just this. The answer is n. I might change strategy here. I might hop onto a call with author and I will explain things to him. Yeah, so it will be more like one-to-one coaching about this. So let's leave for a moment the tests, and then validator. There is also, if you go to Validator tab, you can read it. But it's better to just go to statement, hit review. Review is a very useful button. And there you have statement and validator next to it, and you can compare if the limits are the same. And I already see that they are different. Validator checks that n is up to 100. Statement says it's up to 1000. So there are no tests with n bigger than 100. Okay. Also, this this is worse than I thought. So he allows here every number to be from 1 to 100 instead of from 1 to n. So every condition should match exactly the condition in validator. The n should be between 2 and 100, but no, it isn't. K should be between 1 and 100, but no, it isn't. I mean, maybe the other way. Statement says k up to 1000, this thing says k up to 100. Then every x should be from 1 to n. Here it's from 1 to 100. Tests. No, validator. There are validator tests. It's very bad that none of them was invalid. Add test. What about this? 2197. Verdict is 0. This should be invalid. If I run tests, I should get, yeah, red is an issue. And now, can I hit this? What will happen is, now when you try to export this problem, when you try to create a package, so export, also verification will be run and Polygon will say this, and this is wrong. Now in the list of problems here, right now there are 3 warnings. Once I commit this, there will be several warnings and like 5 issues, and issues are something you shouldn't really skip and use a problem. But if I hit commit changes, there will be also here some warnings, like problem has open issues, because I put some unresolved issues here. Also, some tests are the same. Checker doesn't have any test, that one isn't important. And also this thing about this formatting of statements should be resolved. The list of my changes is here. Other than adding my solutions, I added a second validator test, the one where I know validator fails. This is why validator always puts several tests where it should be invalid. In particular, I will open the statement in HTML to see it better. Okay, n is from 2 to 1000. I should have done this before looking at validator. N is from 2 to 1000. So let's add a test for this. Let's say that n is 1. In case 1, and this is 1. They tell you, like here, how to add multiple validator tests at once. This should be wrong. Then 1001, actually, okay, 211 should be correct. This is wrong, this is correct. 1001, I don't want to create this, but 1001, this should be incorrect, and I will look up the verdict that it tells me, and I expect to see that this is incorrect because this value should be from 2 to 1000. And, you can do the same stuff for k, so this is bad, but in particular 2 and 5, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1 is good. Let's not make a mistake here. 0, this is 0 because it's bad, this is 1 because it's good. And yeah, another limit is for x. So 2 and 1, 0, that's wrong. 2 and 1, 2, this is good. 2, 1, 3, this is bad. Now run those tests. The last one is invalid, and this is also what I saw in validator. The situation is so bad that I need to do something about it, like maybe talking with the author, or yeah, more or less that. But assuming that my work here is done, I should, there is also stress test tab, but I will do it only after the generator is resolved. But now I would here describe added several issues, added several, also wrong, solutions, and validator tests, so many issues. I would say don't mark this. If you mark this, nobody will get email notification about this commit, but it's good to mark, it's good to notify everybody about changes. Also in that email you have a div what changed, and if one person incorrectly changed the statement, then the other can see it in email. Like it's bad to mark this because you then modify stuff without telling other people. That's bad. I will not commit here, also because I want to again read the statement, make sure that yeah, it's fine. So also in issues, a bug is validator wrong, upper limits, see validator tests. So now assume that I'm committing changes now with that message I told you, but I will stop recording and I will talk with the author just to modify a lot of stuff here.